Thousands of Central American migrants in Mexico will be back on the road today on a long trek to the U.S. border. They're traveling mostly on foot, still nearly 2,000 kilometers from their destination. But that caravan is already proving to be very ready political ammunition for Donald Trump exactly 2 weeks before the midterm elections. Lindsay Duncombe is in Washington to take a look at that angle for us. He's really made this caravan into a major talking point, particularly at his campaign stops. What is he saying, and what effect is his rhetoric having, Lindsay?
Well, this is classic Donald Trump. It's as though this caravan, which has people who are fleeing violence in Honduras largely, as well as poverty, has just played right into the script of a Donald Trump campaign rally. And the kinds of rhetoric that Donald Trump is speaking is very much along the lines of the same things that he was saying in 2016. And the reasoning for the president may be it worked then, so it will work now. What he is saying is that the people that are coming to the border seeking to come into the United States are criminals, that they threaten the safety of Americans. He has gone so far as to say that there are Middle Eastern people in that group, not elaborating on that. There is no evidence that that is true. But all of this together really comes into a sort of fear-mongering that resonates with people who are worried about security, worried about changing demographics in the United States, and legitimately worried about what to do with people when they do indeed come seeking to come into the United States in these great numbers. The other thing that Trump has been doing, Heather, is he's been blaming it all on Democrats, insinuating that the Democrats are behind it, that they're paying for it. Here's more from Donald Trump.
Do you know how the caravan started? Does everybody know what this means? I think the Democrats had something to do with it, and now they're saying, I think we made a big mistake, because people are seeing how bad it is, how pathetic it is, how bad our laws are.
So how will this play out as people decide how they're going to cast their ballots? It will likely resonate well with Donald Trump's base, the people who are inclined to believe him anyway. And that could influence those Senate races where getting the base out is important for Republicans to keep control of that House. However, when it comes to the House, it's unclear if this kind of fearful rhetoric would make a difference where it counts, because the districts where those races will be decided, or control of the House will be decided, are more sort of suburban, independent kinds of voters, and it's unclear if this really resonates with them the way that it would with the base.
So as he resorts to this, tactic of fear, he would have Americans believe this migrant wave is going to overwhelm the United States. But I know you've been doing some fact checking, and almost everything he says about this is inaccurate. What's the reality here?
Inaccurate, or at best exaggerated, because when it comes to this caravan, yes, it is a large group of people, but it is not large enough to overwhelm the border and the people that are there, because certainly there's already quite a steady group of people coming to the border. The numbers are up, and that is frustrating the president. The reason why many of these people are traveling together is not to take a raid on the border, but as with previous caravans, they're traveling together for safety because it is a very dangerous journey. And they're also traveling together because what they want to do is raise awareness for the issues in their home countries where it's violence and poverty that they are fleeing. So it is a real situation that's happening, but it has happened before. It's just the timing of this, with 2 weeks to go before everyone votes, with a script that writes itself for a Donald Trump rally that really takes this issue, which is important, and this plight, and kind of puts it into the full machine of the American political landscape, and that's where we get to where we are.
As you say, 2 weeks exactly to go. Lindsay, thank you so much. Critical time in Washington, and there's our Lindsay Duncombe.